Welcome to Withdrawal. No, sugar isn't classified like nicotine or cocaine, but studies show that highly processed sugar foods activate many of the same reward pathways in the brain. For years, your brain has been rewarded with quick bursts of dopamine every time you ate something sweet. Now, that reward suddenly disappears. The result, many people experience headache, irritability, fatigue, difficulty concentrating, even mood changes. Not because your body needs sugar, but because your brain is adjusting to life without constant stimulation. Think of it like turning down the volume after listening to loud music for hours. At first, everything feels strangely quiet, but then your brain slowly recalibrates. When while your brain is complaining, your liver is quietly celebrating. Every time you consume large amounts of added sugar, especially fructose, your liver has extra work to do. Unlike glucose, fructose is processed almost entirely inside your liver. When intake becomes excessive, some of it can contribute to fat accumulation in liver cells. That's one reason excessive consumption of sugar sweetened beverages has been linked to a higher risk of metabolic dysfunction and fatty liver. Now, you have removed that constant sugar load. Does your liver become healthy overnight? Of course, no. But you have finally given it a break. And that's exactly where the healing process begins. By the second day, something unexpected starts happening, and it has nothing to do with your weight. This is where your appetite begins changing. At first, most people think quitting sugar will make them hungrier. In reality, the opposite often happens. Without repeated spikes and crashes in blood sugar, many people begin experiencing steadier energy levels. Meals become more satisfying, cravings become slightly less intense. Notice I said slightly, because your gut bacteria haven't given up yet. Inside your digestive system, trillions of bacteria compete for food. Some thrive on dietary fiber, others prefer simple sugars. When sugar suddenly disappears, the balance inside your gut begins shifting. Scientists are still learning exactly how quickly these communities adapt. But we know your gut and brain constantly communicate through what's known as the gut brain axis, which means changes inside your intestines may even influence your mood. And this is only day 2, because on day 3, your taste buds begin changing. Foods that once seemed boring starting tasting surprisingly sweet. Your cravings begin fading, inflammation markers may start moving in the right direction, and one hidden hormone quietly takes control. We will discover all of that next. Something remarkable happens around day 3. Your taste buds begin changing. No, they don't physically regenerate overnight, but your brain starts becoming more sensitive to sweetness. Foods that once tasted completely ordinary, like strawberries, blueberries, or even plain Greek yogurt, may suddenly taste much sweeter than before. Why? Because your brain is no longer being constantly overwhelmed by ultra sweet processed foods. It's like stepping out it's like stepping outside after leaving a loud concert. For the first time, you begin noticing sounds that were always there. The same thing happens with the sweetness. Your natural sensitivity starts coming back. But your tongue isn't the only thing changing. There is another hormone quietly transforming your eating happens. Think about the last time you ate something sugary, maybe a donut, a cookie, or a soft drink. How long did you stay full? Probably not very long. That's because highly processed sugar foods are often designed quickly. are often digested quickly, causing rapid fluctuation in blood glucose. By day 3, if you're eating balanced meals with protein, healthy fats, and fiber, those dramatic swings becomes less frequent. Many people notice they are no longer thinking about food every hour, not because they are forcing themselves, but because their body is finally receiving steadier signals. This doesn't mean you will never crave dessert again, but the cravings usually become quieter and much easier to ignore. Then something starts happening beneath your skin, even before you can see it in the mirror. Chronic inflammation isn't something you can feel from one day to the next. It's usually silent. But diets high in added sugars, especially sugar sweetened beverages and ultra processed foods, have been associated with increased inflammatory activity and poorer metabolic health in many studies. By removing added sugar, you have removing one of the major contributors to that pattern. Does inflammation disappear in 3 days? No, but you have stopped pouring fuel on the fire, and that's an important first step. Then, around day 4, something happens that surprises almost everyone. Your energy starts feeling different, not necessarily higher, more stable. Think about your body like a car. Sugar is like flooring the accelerator, then slamming on the brakes. Over and over again, your body can run that way, but isn't exhausting. By day 4, many people notice they don't experience those dramatic afternoon crashes anymore, and instead, energy becomes smoother throughout the day. No massive highs, no high lows, just consistency. And consistency is exactly what your brain loves. But there is one organ that's working harder than any realize, your pancreas. Every time you eat large amount of added sugar, your pancreas releases insulin to help move glucose from your bloodstream into your cell. That's completely normal. The problem isn't insulin. The problem is asking your pancreas to do that again, again, and again for years. When you reduce added sugars, your pancreas finally gets a chance to operate under less pressure. Now, 5 days won't magically revise the insulin resistance, but it may begin improving your body's day to day glucose regulation, especially if your overall diet is balanced. And that's exactly how long term health improvements begin, not overnight, one meal at a time. If you enjoy evidence based health content that actually explains what's happening inside your body, subscribe to Dr. T Health because the next video we were putting another everyday food under the microscope and the results may completely change the way you eat.